Hello, hello. Stephen at you again, Bama GA Outdoors. On the first Sunday. Been a great one so far. Church was really good. Everything's lovely. Well, today, y'all, we're going to do Sunday smoke. And my first cook on the old Gateway drum. Got my racks finally came in. I hadn't seasoned them or anything. I've just oiled this thing down real good since I had it. And I got it all set up. Charcoal's in there with some hickory wood, and I'm just gonna do a seasoning cook all at one time today. So I already got my chimney of coals down there getting hot, and I got my proteins out here. I told y'all I was gonna do multiple proteins, so I'm gonna do a rack of lamb. Then I got some I got a whole chicken. I'm gonna put a whole chicken. It's in there, you see the colors. Got the whole chicken, and then of course we got some racks. Those are spares and baby backs. And today is gonna be kind of one of those tests that I'm glad I'm doing it up front, because I've been watching a lot of these videos on these drums, and they seem to be pretty much all around all weather cookers, you know, for what it's worth. Like my big grill, when it rained, man, rain will get all inside that thing because it's so leaky. And even with my Angus, I don't really worry about rain getting in it as far as, like, you know, getting on the fire and stuff like that, because the firebox is closed. But just the leaving it out in the rain and letting it get cooked on, that Angus got really big exhaust, and water can go down in there and get in, but it'll drain out. And that's the only thing I seen that I don't really understand about drums, is why they don't have a drain on the bottom of them. And I may put a drain on mine, but be kind of weird because that's a seriously low place and you wouldn't be able to really catch no grease in nothing. But it is what it is. Just clean it out good. There's a guy I've been watching. He does a lot of competitions. I don't really know his name. I don't know if he's like one of the big in the big time barbecues with the guys, but I think he's somewhere up north out west in man, I don't want to get the state wrong, but the guy, I think, is Crazy Horse Barbecue, and he does a lot of drum cooking on he got a what's that, Joe's, the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco, and I think he got the whichever one the top of the line one is, and he got a Gateway smoker, and he put cat litter. He put cat litter down there in the bottom to catch all of the grease and stuff and make cleanup real easy. And I forgot to get some cat litter, so I'm gonna have a cleanup to take care of pretty good cleanup from all this greasy food I'm about to cook. But that's what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna get started getting the ribs ready to go, because they're the only thing I got that needs to be seasoned and everything. So the chicken and the lamb is done, so I'm gonna get started on that real quick. Now, since my chimney down there is burning real good, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pour it over into there. I didn't start my fire inside the drum, I just didn't, so I'm gonna hopefully not have embers run back up my arm, because that has happened to me before. But I'm gonna go ahead and get everything going down in there and let this baby start coming up the temp. So I'm gonna open my intakes all the way up. I tightened them up some. They pretty tight. And we gonna let it go. Let's get on this meat. So now we got our fire started. We'll go ahead and we'll start getting these ribs ready, because the chicken and the lamb is all ready to go. So I just gotta season up these ribs. I'm not using mustard as a binder today. I just didn't bring it down here with me, to be honest with you. I just kind of forgot about it. So what I'm gonna be using today as my binder, I'm just gonna use some of the oil that I sprayed that cooker down with as a binder. Give me some more glues on here. And today I'm using one of these competition guys rub in part of my recipe. I've been watching a lot of his videos on this drum smoking, and can't argue with the guy. He know what he's doing. He done won so many barbecue championships, and he just won Memphis in May again. And that's Heath Riles, and I'm using his garlic jalapeno as my base. I'm using my own seasonings to go over that, but I'm just using his as a base. So today I'm not taking the membrane off the ribs. They are kind of cleaned up, not as much as I would have liked them to be, but they're gonna be all right. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna score them. The baby backs was already, somebody had already at the butcher shop had already taken the membrane off them. I went to skin the baby backs out because I wanted to just skin them out, and they was already done. So that's less work for me to have to do. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do on that. And I'm just gonna spray a little bit of this old oil on them. Like that. Then we're gonna bust open this Heath Riles. His ribs be looking so good when he be cooking them on that barrel. And I just decided I like the sound of that jalapeno garlic as a base layer. So I had to get me some. I went in Kroger to grab some that canola oil just so I can season that thing with. And just so happened it was on the same row as the spices. And the first thing I see when I look up there is his rubs. I didn't want none of the other ones except for his jalapeno garlic jalapeno rub. So those coals have caught up pretty quick in that thing. So we're gonna go on with a base layer of this garlic jalapeno. All right, and then for the spare ribs, I'm using my homemade rib rub. See, it just say onion. And I thought that it would go really good with his rub on the bottom. Man, that smells so good. Today is overcast / rainy day, so I really am gonna enjoy this without the heat today. That's that side. I'm gonna do the meat side. Spray a little bit of oil as a binder over here. That's how we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna go on with that garlic jalapeno again as our base layer. It smells good, I tell you that much. I really like the smell of that. It's not a overpowering smell at all. It's quite light. I love robust fragrances in my rub and stuff, and I love robust taste, and that's what made me start making my own rubs, because I just didn't feel like nothing had a strong enough taste for me and flavor. I like really good smoke flavor, and I love really good seasonings that have nice robust flavor, but that don't take over the taste of the food that you're putting on. I like them to enhance the taste of the protein or whatever I'm putting them on. I love it to just enhance that so much. And that's what I love about these rubs I make. I just make a lot of these things just, you know, just off the cuff, and that's what they do. They just enhance the flavor of the meat and stuff. They don't take over at all. They just make it taste really, really good. So, go down with this jalapeno. Garlic jalapeno on the back side of this rack. And just based on the smell of that, I'm going kind of heavy with that. I don't know how much heat it's got in it, but when I watch his videos, he always mentions a little heat on the back end. But I hope it ain't too bad, because my wife, they love when I cook ribs, but they can't deal with a lot of spicy stuff like I can. Super spicy I'm not into, but I like a good little back of the throat as it goes down. It's the little something to waken it up a little bit. All right. I got some wind I'm fighting with today too, trying to spread this without it blowing all over the place. All right, so that's the spare ribs. We're gonna let that sit there for a second. Now I'm about to do these baby backs, and I'm using two different rubs. I'm using still using Heath Rao's garlic parmesan, garlic jalapeno as the base on all of them, but I'm using a different rub on the top for both of them. This rub is one that I came up with yesterday, just throwing some stuff together. I had a little bit of this Texas inspired rib seasoning, or just seasoning. It says bold and smoky, but it was literally down here, and I like the way it tastes because it is real smoky and it's got a bold taste. So I wanted to see how it would pair it with some other things, so I added some other things to it, and we're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully everything come out just lovely. That's what I'm hoping. That ain't what I'm looking for to do. I didn't bring them with me. Okay. So, let's get this layer on. This Heath Rao's garlic jalapeno as my base layer. I didn't put no oil on these because they are really wet. Man, that wind is blowing this stuff everywhere. I didn't put no I got the paper up inside there. I didn't put any oil on it. I don't think those are gonna need it as much as those did, the spare ribs. So, and let's go on with this. In my mind, this mixture right here is how I would want my baby backs to taste. So I'm gonna see when I get them off. What's on the spare ribs is pretty much a tried and true rub that I've been doing for years, and so I'm not really concerned about it, but I definitely want to see how everything gonna work out with this addition or this Heath Rouse to it. Only thing I really don't like about using store-bought stuff is I don't rightfully know how much salt I got in it. A little bit more of this on here. I don't know how much salt they put in it. That's the only thing. I know how much salt I put in my rubs, and I know how much sugar, which is hardly ever any in my rubs. If I'm gonna do a sweet component, I kind of do that at the end with my glazes and stuff. I don't really do it on the rubs. I like a savory rub. Every now and then I'll get a hankering for a sweet rub, and I'll do that. But for the most part, my rubs are all savory. All right, so we're gonna let all these babies ride out. This marinade for a while. We're gonna let this thing come on up to temp, and then we're gonna lay these all in there. Got me a couple of pieces, little quick meat snacks. They should cook really fast. So I'm gonna lay all of these in there together, so I can take them all at the same time. All right. That thing already showing 200 and, wow, is that 250? Actually 256, 255, excuse me. So I'll be right back with y'all. All right, y'all, I'm sitting here and I'm letting that temperature come on down. Most of the people I see cook on these things, they cook hot and fast. This thing was up to about 400 degrees, so I'm just waiting on it to slow down right now. I want to be anywhere between 275 and 300. I don't want to be that high over 300 right now. That sucker is running out there about 315, maybe 320. I just don't want it to be out there too far. Yeah, it's out there about 315 something, but it's dropping. It's dropping pretty quick. I got the intakes on both sides open about that much. It's not as much as you think, because I can't even get my finger down in there, just barely the tip on both of them. And that's how I determined how far to close them down, because I saw everybody. I was seeing a lot of people that use these using that method. They just, like stick their finger down in there. I kind of got some paws on me, and so I just used the tip of mine, and it's slowing down pretty good right now. It's down there. It's hitting right around 3. It's done went below 310 now. It's done went below 310. So it's coming on down. So I got my meat ready to go. The only issue I got is I can't find my low profile rib racks, because I got 6 racks of ribs right here, and I was gonna put them in my low profile rib rack, and I would have been able to fit every one of them on there across. My other rib racks, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is my other rib rack, and what it is, it's too tall to fit on that top rack. The lid won't close with it on there. So I have a low profile one that's probably about 1.5, 2 inches shorter than this one. And I can't find that sucker nowhere. I don't think I gave it to my son. I might have gave it to my son when I gave him that other one, that other smoke a couple weeks ago. But shoot, I sure could use that joker right now. Now I could get all 6 of them in there on that top rack and wouldn't have no worries. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this because I know I want to do the chicken on the bottom rack by itself because I don't want it dripping on the ribs. And I wanted to have enough space to do the ribs and the lamb all on the top rack, but I don't think I'm gonna have that kind of space. So we'll see what happens. But my temperature done fell below 300. I'm right on top of 300. A little bit look different between the camera and my eyes, but it's right on top of 300. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this chicken on and see how many of these ribs I can get on here before this thing get crazy and flare up on me again. So y'all hold on. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get this chicken put on and get it put on the bottom. All right. That lid got some heat in it. Lordy, lordy, lordy. That rack warm right there. I gotta hurry up and get this chicken put in here before this fire get going crazy. As soon as you open it up and all that oxygen dumped in there, you're gonna have a lot of chances for your fire to go straight up. All right, let me show y'all what my chicken looking like. Let's see here. I got my chicken right here, full of the colors, all rubbed down and marinated. You know, I like putting the peppers and all that stuff inside and washed it down with some lemon juice. You can see the lemon still in there. So, and I split him up the back. And so we're getting ready to put him in right now and see how he turn out. That's how he going in with all them colors and everything. All them peppers and onions. He going right there on the bottom rack. All by him lonely. I could put the lamb down there with him. Cause the lamb is gonna be a faster cook. And I think I'm gonna just go ahead and do that. Get the lamb down there with the chicken. Man, that smells so good already. Some of that stuff done fell through and doggone down off in there. Those peppers and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and y'all see my lamb. Y'all know I like crusting that up the night before. So that's my lamb all seasoned up. So I'm gonna put that rack of lamb on there. See how it do on the drum smoker. All right, now let me get this rack put back in. It's a whole new system for me, y'all, cooking on this drum. So I gotta get my muscle memory to take effect kind of quickly. So we're gonna see how we can do with these ribs. Let's see here. I really would like them to be standing up like that, and I could get a lot of them in there. Let's see how many of them I can get in here. Bunch them up. I know I'm not gonna get all of them, but they cook pretty quickly. And I did not do a trim job on these spares. I mean on these baby backs. So it is what it is. And I need some space between them so the airflow can get in between them. and I'm gonna have room for 1 rack of spares. So I'm gonna have to, actually, I'm just gonna cook them all together on their own. I'm not gonna do the spares in there right now. I'll come back because this should be done quickly. I get these baby backs done, and then we'll come back. We'll put them spares on, and because the chicken should get done quickly because it's on the bottom. Let's see y'all look, see. So right now, we got the 3 racks of backs on, baby back ribs. We got the lamb down there on the bottom, and we got the chicken on the bottom. And we got some flames shooting up down there. So I'm gonna go on and close this thing off before that flame down there get a little too crazy. And there she is. She riding out. And that temperature only dropped down to about 250 before, and that thing is climbing super fast. But I can't wait till that grease start dripping and that stuff starts smelling up the whole neighborhood. Woo, Lord. When I was a kid, we did a lot of drum cooking, but it wasn't vertically like this. All y'all done cooked on 55-gallon drum, cut in half. You put your grill, you know, in there with it. You got your charcoal underneath. It's basically the same thing. In a way, it's just a little bit different. You cooking vertically with your charcoal and everything. You know, down below in the bottom, you got air intakes that come in through the bottom, like a lot of grills. And then you got your exhaust on the top. It really ain't no different. It's just the cooking arrangement and the heating arrangement. This is totally vertical cooking, not offset at all. And you getting all that good fat dripping down in there. Boy, that smoke come off of that fat and go back up in that meat. You cannot beat direct fire barbecue, in my opinion, my humble opinion. It's just the way I grew up. But this is my first time cooking on a vertical drum. I do this same kind of cooking on that big grill. I could do it on Angus. I cooked the brisket direct fire Angus on the in the vertical, and man, that was so good. But that's just my roots, direct fire barbecue, and you can cook anything you want to in that manner. It don't even matter. So I'm gonna let this go probably for 30 minutes and check everything, because it don't take long when it's this hot and you running like this and you got that fire directly underneath. You can't be out here thinking you going slow and low. You're a lot closer to the fire, and you got to keep your mind focused on what you're doing. So we'll come back to y'all in about 30 minutes and see how everything look. Peace. Well, y'all, it's about time to take a look at these things. I think it's finna start raining again. I hope not. But I've had an issue so far. All right, so you can see my temp down there ain't even hitting 250, and it's about 240, 245. Ever since I put everything on and got it stabilized, I've had to open the dampers. I've had to open the intakes up quite a bit. They're about halfway open, and I've been sitting right here at this temperature or lower. I've been down as low as 225, and it's been almost 45 minutes since I put everything on. So I'm gonna go in and get a look at this real quick. Y'all stay with me. Let's get it popped open. And I know what's gonna happen on that pop open. That thing gonna get that air in it. It's getting ready to take off. But them ribs is sweating pretty good. But right now what I want to do is I want to look at that chicken, because it's closer to the fire, and the lamb. So y'all hang in there for a second. I got to take this top rack out so I can look at the other stuff. Now that's one of the things that I'm not a whole lot happy about having to do. I don't really like taking the rack out, having to move it to look at this. It's how the lamb looking. It need to come on. And It's where the chicken at on the bottom. It's charred up pretty good. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna lay it on this bottom side now. Now what I'm about to do is I'm about to put some of this on top of that chicken. This is all those peppers and onions and lemons and all that stuff. Yeah, that fire decided it want to wake up, boy, when you open that top up. I'm telling you. So I'm just gonna put all of this in there and cover the chicken up with it. Get all that flavor in there. Put this lemon in there. Let's pour all of that right over top of that. Alright. Sit that right there. Now if I want to wake up a little bit, and because these intakes are so wide open, this thing gonna get crazy real quick. It's only been about 45 minutes. So I know by the time I close this thing back down, them intakes is gonna take a minute to break it back down. So this how the chicken looking. The lamb. So I'm finna get this lid closed back down on this baby and get them ribs back on. That fire jumping up there at that chicken, boy. Let's get this rack on. Let's get this back in here. Let's turn it this way now. Let's get the top put back on. And there we go. And we're gonna let it go. We're gonna see what it pop up to. Then we're gonna make our adjustments. We'll come back to y'all later. All right, y'all. I'm learning a lot about this cooker. You can see both of my exhausts are wide open. I mean, both of my intakes are wide open and only got a single exhaust. And my exhaust is wide open. And it's rolling. It's rolling smoke. But as you can see, I'm not in a hot and fast situation. Right now, 260, 270, about 275 is where it's at. And before I put the lid back on, it was already showing over 300 when I was looking at the chicken and stuff. So, and the fire was blazing up. What I've learned looking at that is this drum, maybe somebody else, because I ain't seen nobody else do it, and this is why I want to do it, but this drum in particular seems to cook at a lot lower temperature when you are cooking on 2 racks at once. So if you looking to go hot and fast, especially trying to have stuff on the top rack go hot and fast, it ain't gonna happen on this smoker. Well, I'll just say this. You might run your smoker differently than what I'm doing. This is my first experience with a drum smoker. But from what I'm seeing right now, my temperature is sitting at about 275. And that's good. I mean, it's cooking. But I wanted to cook around 300 straight up. So what I'm seeing right now is vertically, it's hard to do 300 and have this thing loaded. And it's not even loaded. I mean, back in the day, mama and them used to have us on a 55-gallon drum. That thing be split in half, and you were completely loaded. No airflow as far as like spacing between food. Food just jam-packed on there, some laying on top of each other, and that sucker would cook. You know, them coals would be hot. But what I'm seeing right now, you know, it's a whole different situation, because to me, you got a little bit more restrictive airflow with them 2 intake pipes. than you would any other style of cooker. So, you know, if this thing was horizontal and you had it split in half, 9 times out of 10, it's getting so much air by association because it's going to be leaky and you're going to be cooking with the top open for the most part. You're going to run hot and fast, just the nature of that. But this right here, this is neither hot and fast nor really slow and low. The chicken is cooking quickly and the lamb is cooking quickly because they're on the bottom. But that top rack where the ribs are, it don't have the heat that those the food on the bottom rack is getting. So in a way, that's a good thing because when the chicken and the lamb is done, I can rotate those baby backs to the bottom if I desire and get them cooked quicker and put the spares on the top and get them going. Or I could just put the spares on the bottom and let them come on at their own pace and let the baby backs continue to go at a slower pace. We gonna see. But what I know for sure now is I'll be cooking like most people cook on these things. I was gonna buy one of them, the rib hanging racks, but I got hooks and stuff, and I was like, well, I got my rib racks, and I was just gonna, like I said, I was gonna put it on there because I could put 6 to 8 racks on those, but the rib rack itself is just too tall. The lid won't close. But I may change that. I might have to cut them and re-weld them just to make them shorter so I can cook a lot of racks at one time on the top rack. I don't know how many racks people typically hang when they cook the ribs hanging. But I know you can get a lot in there, but I know those racks that I got, those things hold up to like 8 racks a piece if I'm not mistaken. And you know, I could get a lot of ribs in there on the top and the bottom if I cut those racks and re-weld them. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just cut my rib racks, re-weld them and make them shorter, and that way I'll be able to get the racks in there top and bottom and still have room for a lot of airflow coming up out of there. Because when I think about it, the airflow is being altered coming out by the food. You know, you got food on the bottom, food on top. So that's in a way restricting the heat too. So it's a good learning experience. I can't wait to see you know, how this Lord have mercy, how this chicken and this lamb turn out. Not really you know, thinking about the ribs too much. I just want to see how this stuff gonna cook on this bottom rack. So it's been all together right around an hour, almost full cooking time. Been about 55 minutes. So I'm gonna be flipping some stuff again here soon and seeing how that go. But right now I understand it's not gonna cook hot and fast with 2 racks. So my idea of getting a 3rd rack and plus it's a hassle, man, because you gotta take the top rack off to access anything else underneath. So yeah, I just pretty much be cooking on a top rack from now on. I probably won't be able to get no more than 2 slabs of rib on one side, and whatever else I decide to put on the other. Might be able to squeeze 2 briskets on there, I don't know, but we gonna see. And I can't wait to do a drum brisket. I'm ready for that. But we'll come back to y'all in a little bit. I don't know if any of y'all ever used this brand, Best of the West. It's a lump, it's an oak lump. I've been using this now for about, this is I think my 4th or 5th cook with this stuff. I get it at Food Depot. It's pretty cheap. It's only like $8 and something a bag. But this stuff, it doggone does a great job. Man, it gets really hot, and it burns a long time. When I used it in the smoker up at my son's house, when I took him patches, I ran out of wood because I didn't bring but about 10 splits with me. And when I ran out of wood, I just used what I had left in the bag, because up there that smoker ran so different in the mountains. But I put it was about down here, about this much left in the bag. I poured that in the firebox, and the temperatures immediately rose up to over 300 degrees and was able to push that pork shoulder all the way through. But if any of y'all ever use this brand, Best of the West, let me know what y'all think about it. I like it a lot, and this is, like I said, my 4th or 5th cook with it, and I like it a lot. All right, y'all. My temp done fell even a little bit further down. I'm just barely over 250, running around yonder close to 255 or so. But I keep having smoke come back out my intakes, and I know that ain't never good when you got smoke coming out your intakes. So I really think I got too much food in there. I think I may have found the limit of the way it's gonna run with amounts of food. So right now I'm getting ready to take this top off because I need to check this chicken again. All right. Whew. So this is how the baby backs is looking right now. But I need to get in there and check that chicken. And I'm gonna grab one of them and take a look under the bottom of them real quick before I snatch that rack off, because I rotated them the last time. So let's hold the rack up and see how they looking on the bottom. See here, can we get our glove on today? All right, this glove kind of tight on my hand. Let's see. So that's what they looking like right now. I didn't trim them up or nothing. This is just my first cook on this, so don't look for no pretty trim. I gotta get in there and I gotta check that chicken out. So y'all stick with me. I'm gonna have to take this rack off. Hold on a second. Let me get this rack out. They all look good underneath. Woo. Now, let's see this lamb. That's how the lamb is coming along. I gotta tempt the lamb. That's the back of it. I gotta check this chicken. Woo. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna check this chicken. No, please don't start that. Go snack on something, please. All right. Chicken is hitting around 157 in that spot. 170 right there. So chicken is hitting on 167. So that's pretty good on the chicken. Okay. So if the chicken is hitting there, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the lamb. I ain't telling her nothing ready yet, because every time I do that, I never get to do it exactly the way I want to cook it, because they always rush it. So I'm gonna pull this lamb, wrap it real quick. Because the lamb is ready. I usually push my lamb up to an internal of about 155. And that lamb is at 157. So I'm gonna pull that. Get it wrapped up. And it's not going back on the grill. Alright, I'm gonna lay the lamb right there because the lamb is done. But the chicken, I think I'm gonna let this chicken go on and finish up. The fire is kissing it. So what I want to do is I want to temp this chicken in the thighs. The breast was at 160 something. 155. Okay. I'm gonna let that chicken go for a little while longer. But let me let y'all get a look at that chicken real quick. Hey baby, that's how the chicken is looking. I'm gonna have to get it real quick and turn it over. Alright y'all, my chicken really got charred, but it looked good though. So right now, I'm letting it go a little bit on the breast side down. It smells incredible, I'm telling you. And you can see all the peppers and stuff and the onions and stuff got dumped in there when I turned it over just now. But I'm getting ready to pull the chicken and the lamb, and that's gonna be it for them. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this other rack of ribs on. These other 2 racks, I'm gonna put them, the other 3, I'm gonna put them on there. Get them spares going and go ahead and get this cook knocked out. So far it has been less than an hour and a half, and I got 2 of the items ready. So we'll be back with y'all in a second. Let's get these spares laid in there on the bottom right fast. First rack. Second rack. What's that, doggy walks? And we're gonna squeeze this third rack in here. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot, hot, hot up in this joint. Yee! Son, that burn. That was hot. That's hot. Y'all give me a minute. Alright y'all, so I got them other 3 slabs in there on the bottom, and I'm gonna finish out these baby backs. So we'll come back to y'all in about 30 minutes. Later. Alright, so taking that lid off, you see that thing done pegged out over 500 degrees down there. Whew. It's still wide open on both dampeners. I'm gonna see how long it take it to slow down, because now I got even more area covered on the bottom with those ribs, and we gonna see. All right, we'll be back with y'all in a little while. Peace. All right, y'all. Learning experience. My chicken, a little bit on the charred side, more than I thought it would be, but it smells delicious and it's so juicy. Ooh, I love that char taste. So I'm about to eat me a piece of this chicken. That's gonna let me know what I got going on with this drummer boy, cause that's his name, y'all. I named him Drummer Boy, and we're gonna see what the little drummer boy do overall. But we're gonna try this chicken and see how it is. I'll let y'all know, cause I ain't finna let y'all see me eating later. All right, y'all, I had a little piece of that chicken. That chicken's so good. Now finna let my taste tester taste it. Finna give baby girl a piece of it real quick and get her reaction to it. I got this thigh right here. Here you go, my little one. No, you take it. I wanna see what you think about it.
Yummy.
Yummy. Tell me what you taste.
Popsicles.
Huh?
Popsicles.
Popsicles? You so silly. How did chicken taste?
Good.
It's good.
Popsicle.
That's how I know when it's good, y'all. When she take her piece in her hand and she just want to be left alone to eat it. And she talking about some popsicles. I don't know about that, but Man, this chicken is juicy. I already done tore this thigh up. I'm gonna finish it off. But that char, oh, that char, it ain't overcharred at all. It hit perfect. And you taste all those vegetables I had cut up in there, those peppers and onions and garlic and stuff. It's so good. But I'm gonna finish this thigh off, and we'll see y'all in a little while when these ribs and stuff get right. All right. Well, y'all, it ain't really coming down in temp as much with the ribs, so I got to go on and check this sucker again. It's been about 15 minutes. You got to stay on top of this thing. Hold on. All right, let's get it popped open here. Oh. All right. Man, that chicken's so good. And spritzing these top ribs a little bit. Trying something different in my spritz too. I'm gonna see if I like it before I say anything about what it is. But I gotta check them bottom ribs. It's the only hassle I don't like so far is when I want to check anything on the bottom, I gotta take these top rack out completely. And let's look at these old spiders. See what they coming along like. I see bone draw already. That's what they looking like already. We're gonna get them a flip. Yes, indeed, it Bubba Giddy. Flip. Boy, I love that smell. Look at there. We're gonna flip them. Hello.
We follow the rules.
And then we're gonna go ahead and put this rack back in. And then we're gonna flip these backs. That's how they looking.
What's this?
See that one. How it look. That one, how it looks. They looking pretty good. Yeah, I'll definitely just single rack cook on this. From now on, I won't be double rack cooking on this. It is not the move with this. Not at all. Now, I'm probably gonna wrap these backs in probably another 30 minutes. I'm gonna wrap them racks, them back ribs. See what happened with them. Let's see if our fire jump back up. I've been having that smoke roll back through the intakes. That ain't good, so I'm hoping. See, I got my fire coming back up down there now. Yes, indeed. Right now, we're about 330. It's getting hotter by the second. That needle's sweeping, so I want to catch that before it get too hot. Char. I don't want to char my meat side really, really hard, because meat side, when it get char on it, tends to get that old beef jerky like texture, be even tougher than that sometimes. But we'll come back in a minute, in about 15, 20 minutes, and we'll see what's going on then. All right, y'all, I'm finna go ahead and get these ribs wrapped up, these baby backs. I'm gonna get them wrapped up, and I think they about where I want them for right now. I'm gonna go on and wrap them for a little while and stick them back on there. So y'all hold on. All right, so let's get these backs wrapped up. Ooh, that's hot. That baby felt like it wanted to almost come apart on me right there. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of this spritz down in there with it. That ought to be enough for the cause. What you doing, boo? Girl, you better get out that ground. Down there all wet, you know you be done got muddy. Your mama come home and you gonna be in trouble. You be muddy when she get home, and I ain't with you today playing in the mud. So you can't blame me. Wasn't daddy today? Yeah. I play with you in the mud. It don't be in the yard like that. These things smell so good, y'all. This is apple cider vinegar and water, and I added a little sugary something to this, one of my favorite drinks, and then I added another one of my favorite things to drink. Well, not favorite, but something I drink often enough. So we're gonna hopefully get that flavor from those two things up in here while they are wrapped. One more to go. And then we'll get them back in there on the smoker. Baby's kind of bendy.
What are you doing?
Wrapping the ribs. Remember that day when I showed you?
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm doing. Not gonna put any seasoning in here with them right now. We're just gonna wrap them up.
My try?
You remember how to wrap it?
Yeah.
Come on, do it for me then. There you go. Put it on over some more. There you go. There you go. Fold it down. Get it down here. Look. Get it right here. Feel the end of the meat. There you go. Good job, boo. Good job, my baby. She gonna be a barbecuer, y'all.
I have to go spend some time with my dog.
You gotta go spend some time with your dog. All right, you go spend time with your dog. All right, let me get these things back on here. Let's get them dropped back in. I just spun those around prior to, but I better look at them because they are meat side down, and I ain't trying to let them stay on that side. What they looking like? They look pretty good. They look like they could go for a while long. That one looked like it could stand a flip. That look good. That's why you spin them. That one could stand a flip. So there's one that didn't look like them. I'm gonna go on and flip it over anyway, and I'm gonna spin them around, make them go vertically, and I'm gonna drop these back in here, have them going opposite direction. All right, now we're gonna put the lid back on.
Daddy.
Give it a pop or two, and that'll do. So we'll come back to y'all in a minute.
Daddy.
All right, y'all. So I think I figured something out. All that I was saying earlier about the capacity and not being able to get up the temp when you got it with both racks full, I take all that back. I think what happened was, and y'all can see right now, I'm sitting there right around 320. And what I think happened was all them veggies that I had in that chicken, I think because it was a lot of moisture coming out of that, I think a lot of that moisture was dropping down on the fire. Not grease, just the moisture out of them vegetables. And I think that may have been keeping the temperature down some. Because since then, the chicken is done and the lamb. But since I put them other 3 racks of ribs on the bottom, since them other 3 racks of ribs been on the bottom, this thing has been sitting there on 320 with the dampers like this. I had to close them down. They're about halfway right now, maybe a little less than halfway. But I take back all the stuff I said earlier. It just may have been the condensation dripping down in there from those vegetables. Because right now, I got to get in here and I got to move those bottom ribs around again. And it's only been about 10 minutes. So y'all bear with me. All right, so let's look at them again, y'all. I got to look at them bottom racks.
Next time, charge it. It's your charger.
It's your truck, baby girl. It's not mine in charge. All right, y'all. Let me get this top rack out. Yeah. Them ribs look good down in there. Right now. Oh man. That's what they looking like right now. Them ribs about ready to be wrapped. I got bones falling out of them. Look at him. Bones falling out of them. They already ready to go.
Ready to taste it.
They're not ready to taste yet. So, flip them. Give them a spin. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at these other ones, see where they at. And they might be ready for sauce. Let's see here. Nope, not ready yet. These down here, I gotta go on and wrap them. While I got them out, while I got these here out, I'm gonna go on and wrap them. So they'll both be wrapped. Now that's a good thing about this thing. If you want to catch something up, if you want to get some food caught up to some other food, put it on the bottom rack. If you trying to serve it all at the same time, put it on the bottom rack. Let me put this lid back on. And we're gonna wrap these. Y'all see them babies? They look good. I'll show them to you. That's the bone side. And you see all that bone pool already. This is the meat side, and it smells so good. I think that's the one that lost the bone. It's the bone side on this one. It look good. It's the meat side. It's bubbling and sizzling away. Same way over here.
Dad?
Same way.
Dad,
Darling,
are you okay?
am I okay? Yes. Did you move that? Did you move the camera?
Who?
Did you move the camera just now?
Yes.
Why did you move the camera?
I was trying to get over.
You was trying to get over.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I gotta wrap these ribs. I'll be back to y'all in a minute.
But I want.
All right, y'all. Let's see how they look in the wrap. Temp been holding steady about that same temperature. A little bit hotter now, about 325, 330. So, I can hear them sizzling in there. So, let's get them pulled out and see what they look like. All right. My battery is super duper low on my phone. I'm at less than 10%. So, if that cuts, that's why. Let's get a look-see at them. Let's check this wrap real quick. These gloves are hard to take off when you got, ooh, yeah, we got a lot of bone popping out. Yes, that smells so good. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take them all out and I'm gonna let them rest. Then I'm gonna put them back on for the glaze up. That one's the same way. You got the bones. Yep, little push-pull test. They want to come up out of there. And these them baby backs. I can hear them spares down there sizzling. Man, they smell so good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, I'll let y'all see them bones and them things. They wanting to come out. And they super duper tender. Super duper tender. That bone, that just comes straight out of there almost. So I'm gonna get these other ones pulled and we'll come back to y'all. Now y'all, one thing I will say about this thing, efficiency is the name of the game. Boy, them coals are down there just, whew. I'm gonna put this lid back on real quick. That thing, man, if it was, in terms of MPG, it's up there. I'll just tell you that. Them coals is just hanging in there, doing their thing. But let's look at these ribs. All right, this them backs. You can see the bones wanting to come out. You do the push-pull test. I'm scared to push on it hard. They are tender. I'm so scared because see it's starting to rip. I'm barely moving it. They about the tenderness I like them. They got a little tug. This one coming up out of there. So we're gonna let them rest for a minute. I gotta look at the meat side though. I gotta look at the meat side and I'm gonna go ahead and get these spares open up so we can see what they looking like. I had to double wrap that one because, oh yeah, we got a lot of bone pull. That one I had accidentally punched a hole in the foil at first and all my spray came out. So, oh Lord, that bone just broke out of there. That sucker is tender. Well, too tender. Oh yeah. Looking the same way right here. Remember, I didn't take the membrane off. Whoo, God almighty, that's hot. It's pulling out the membrane. Them ready to go. And the last one down here, I'm just gonna let them all sit here and rest for a minute before I put the glaze on them. Ooh yeah, woo, that's hot. Well, that baby was, that's so tender. So I come back with y'all in a minute after they cool off, and we'll let them cool off and rest for a little bit before I get to messing with them on. And then we'll get them back on there with a little bit of glaze on top and let them tack up and That's gonna be a wrap. That's 6 rack up there. And this was my little snack. I never got to eat it earlier. I'm about to eat it now. Excuse me. Yes, sir. They taste like that, they gonna be about something. All right, be back with y'all in a minute. So this is the meat side on everything. This is the back ribs. It's how they looking before they get glazed up and put in there. And these the spares. Remember the spares was on the bottom now. They was closest to the fire. Even in the foil, they got a little more char than I would like, but they still look good. Still juicy. Look at that. All that juice coming out. So I'm gonna let them cool for a second, and then we're gonna glaze them up and get everything put back in there, and then that should be it in about 10 or 15 minutes after that, because they all want to pop out off the bone. So first cook on this thing, I'm pretty satisfied thus far. It is a little of a learning curve, but I just know top rack only. Don't go second rack unless you know, can handle it. I probably can handle it, but it's gonna take me a while. But if I didn't get distracted, I would say that if I didn't get distracted, daddy duties, then I would have, these wouldn't have came out as char. Even though they still good looking, they would have came out more like these backs. But let me get them glazed. All right, so for the glaze, I'm using my own glaze, and I'm just gonna spray it on them. And I tell you what, that little snack bite I had with the that I had laid up there, man, I tell you what, you can definitely taste the garlic and the jalapeno in that that base layer, that Heath Rouse. That stuff is good. Like I say, I don't know the salt, how much salt is in his stuff. So it was that one little piece was a little bit on the salty side for me. So I'm gonna let that just be a reminder. If I use that again, use it less than what I did today. So we just gonna glaze these up, and we're gonna let them sit here for a second, and then I'm gonna stick them back in there, and that's gonna be a wrap. That's how I'm glazing them today, y'all. So I'm gonna let them sit there for a second, and then we'll come back in a minute. Peace. All right, y'all, let's pop the top off and see what they look like. They've been out here for the glaze up. We straight up 300. We straight up and down on it. So hopefully they good to go. Let's check them out. Ooh, they not sticky, but they ready. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get these babies panned up and take them in the house. Yes, indeed. Y'all hold on. All right, let's get them up out of here. Get these babies all in the pan, and let's get these babies to the house. Let them rest a minute. All right, let's start pulling them out. Oh yeah, the glaze trying to run slow. Ooh, it's ripping on me. Y'all, that looks so good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They want to fall apart. Oh, gee whiz. Look at there. That looks so good. Get this last back rib. That last one. Now let's get these spares. There's them spares. Woo! Crisp on the back. Ooh, that's hot. These gloves do not keep the heat off of you. Woo! Like I say, I don't recommend second rack cooking. Not at all. That's the last one. Woo! They crispy on the back. That lower rack is no joke. Alright. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how much charcoal this thing will save. Close everything down. We're gonna get these ribs in the house. Let them rest. That's how they looking over there. Little char from that second rack. I do not recommend it. Unless you are just gonna be standing here every single second, babysitting this thing, twisting, turning, flipping, pulling out racks to get to the other one. I do not recommend using that low rack, that second rack. Unless you just got very little heat in there, you can do it. But I didn't even use a half a bag of charcoal, and that's a lot of heat for that second rack. So I just don't recommend it. So we're gonna go give them a taste, and then I'll tell y'all what I think about this thing. All right, y'all. Well, I done got in the house and I cut a rack of them spares. Oh my God. Them spare ribs taste exactly like how I used to barbecue up until about 8 years ago when I started smoking. Everything changed. My wife tasted this food. She said, that is how your barbecue used to taste consistently. This lamb, y'all, they didn't hardly leave me no lamb. Then the chicken. That chicken is so good. This breast is so juicy. I just carved some off because I'm carving my wife some stuff for for lunch tomorrow. She want to take a couple of pieces of ribs, couple bones to her co-workers. But I'm about to cut these backs and we're going to see how they do. Hold on. Okay, let's cut this rack of baby backs. I done had a bone come out already. The bone's been popping out. So I'm just going to go right here. That is like nothing. They so tender. You can hear the knife like nothing. Let's get one. That's what they look like. And I'm using a serrated knife. This knife has got serration, so that's why you see a lot of that. But let's see. Let's get a bite of one. Hold on. Let's bite this thing. And it's just been glazed. It ain't got no sauce on it or nothing. Let's see how it do. Man. That is like, man, come off there like butter. That Heath Rouse, that garlic jalapeno underneath, man, that dude on some stuff right there. That is, man, this takes me back to how my barbecue when I was in California. This the taste it had in California. I could get seasonings out there that I couldn't get back home, new stuff I was learning about. This what my barbecue has always been like. Like, I love open fire barbecue. Y'all, I'm sorry. My smokers, when it come to ribs, I ain't got but 2 cookers now that I ever cook ribs on again. BG, because I can cook directly over coals in it, and Drummer Boy, that Gateway. I'm sure you could do this on any other drum, but it's just this taste. You can't get this from nobody's smoker. You can't even get this taste from Offset Grilling. You can get close, but it ain't this. I just gotta clean this bone on up. My God. Hold on. This right here, this is the end lollipop on that lamb. This was the best lamb, and I've cooked a lot of lamb over the past year and a half. I've cooked a lot of lamb. This is the best tasting lamb I've ever cooked, simply because it was cooked the same way these ribs was. Man. Oh my God. That smoke in there, along with that rub that I made specifically for lamb, it's just finally looking good. Every bit of it. That chicken was so juicy. Man, that chicken's so juicy, it's ridiculous. Every one of these ribs is so juicy and so tender. They just come right off the bone. And it did not take me long to cook this stuff. Once I got around my little temperature woes and I figured out what actually happened with the juice pouring down on the fire out of those vegetables that was in the chicken. Once I got the chicken and lamb off, man, that thing went to doing this thing. This lamb, that right there, I could eat, I don't know how many racks of lamb by myself cooked like this. Sorry for eating in y'all face, but I have to try my own food. But I'm going to tell y'all, that drum, y'all see me doing cooking videos, a lot more of them will be on that drum than any of the other ones, unless, you know, something happened that I need the space to cook on. I'm sure I could turn out food just like this in Angus, because I've direct cooked in the cabinet in Angus before, and I'm sure I could do it again. Same way I did that brisket direct. I'm sure I could cook the ribs and everything the same way. Plus, I got a lot more room. But that drum, I mean, I can just in and out of the barn with it, no problem. I can take it places and cook with it a lot easier. So for right now, that drum is about to get a lot of my time. A lot of my time. But I appreciate y'all watching this video. Any of y'all out there cook on drums, y'all see this video, leave me some tips, tricks, advice. I'm not new to cooking by far. I'm a mid-50s dude, been cooking since I was 3 years old, backwoods style. So I ain't new to this. I'm just getting back around to my roots in it. I've been all over the world and ate food that's been barbecued in so many different places of the world. So I got a really experienced palate when it comes to eating stuff. And just, I've been trying all these new methods and everything, and just trying to see what I like now, because my taste has changed over the years. But one thing remains the same. Good barbecue is good barbecue. I don't care if it's cooked over coals, over wood, offset. As long as it ain't on no gas, and I don't care what y'all say, and as long as it ain't on no pellets, I'm good. Give me wood, charcoal, and we good. Offset, indirect, whatever. But you can't get no better taste than great backyard barbecue. And that's what this tastes like back home when I was a kid. But I appreciate y'all watching this video, man. Like I say, y'all got any tips, tricks, advice, Go ahead and leave them in the comments. I appreciate y'all watching. May the Lord shine his face upon y'all. Bless and keep y'all through this week. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.